Good evening. This is David Lynn, and you're joining me for another episode of Coffee Talk. This is number 316, and it is 7 p.m. on Saturday, 9/28, 2024. We are coming to the end of National Preparedness Month. September is National Preparedness Month. As the Scout motto says, be prepared. And with all the hurricane activity, storm activity we've had, it's a good idea. Joseph Moore, my friend, welcome. I did 30 minutes yesterday. It's the first live stream I've done in about a week since the previous Sunday. And I'm going to try to do 30 minutes today till about 7:30. I'm not back to where I need to be, and I'm not going to be doing live streams every day. My wife is still in a situation where I need to provide her with extra support, and that takes up a lot of time, so I will not be live streaming on a daily basis for right now. KP Heathen, welcome. However, I did upload some content for you today. Hello, Julie. I uploaded the Black Widow's mail call, and I uploaded a video I had done a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or so. I did a review briefly of a modular enhancement type 1 or pack 1, 5.5 minutes. I also uploaded a couple of hello Uncle Al. I also uploaded a couple of shorts today. Die Bullfrog 79. So, for those of you who are keeping up with my situation with my wife, she was released from rehab after about a week in rehab Wednesday evening. She had an appointment scheduled by them with her GP for the following day at 1:30. I was at work, my daughter was at work, and she took a cab from our house to the doctor's appointment. And when she got there, they said they did not have an appointment scheduled for her. They have an appointment scheduled for October the 7th, which is a follow-up appointment for 3 months. And they want her to keep that appointment. But there was a big screw-up. They also didn't call in her medications the way they were supposed to, her pain medication, the other medications that they have her on. I had to call them the following day about that. And, it's a cluster. The old military term, it was a cluster. And it was a cluster. So Friday afternoon, she had a follow-up wound care appointment at 1:30 at DTAR 3rd Floor Hospital, which my daughter picked her up and took her to, dropped her off, and then later came back for her. And she's going to have to do that 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, until they get her all sealed up and straightened out. And right now they've still got a pump in her. She's got a tube, and then she's got this machine that she carries that she has to plug in. It's got a battery, but she's got to plug it in, and we're going through that. Thank you, Uncle Al. So, that's going on right now. And I'm not sleeping that well. I'm really not sleeping well. I go to bed fairly early, and I get up fairly early. And usually I wake up around 1 o'clock, 1:30, to let the dogs out and to go to the restroom. And it's, sometimes I have trouble getting back to sleep. Sometimes I go right back to sleep immediately. Sometimes I have trouble getting back to sleep. So I'm not sleeping the way I really need to be. But 4 in the house, 5 likes. I think people are not aware from the standpoint of, they don't know to look for me to my, and I did not do a community wall post saying I was going to be on later on, or I was going to do whatever I was going to do. I will say that I have been getting about 1,000 views a day with my shorts. I do a couple of shorts every day, and I'm averaging with the shorts, with the blowover and everything. I'm averaging 1,000 or so views. My view count for the month is right at about 1,000 a day. I am monetized, and I am getting notifications. As a matter of fact, before I upload a video, or before I make a video public, I have to go and I have to do something for the monetization where I have to change from off to on. I have to turn it on, and they're running ads during the middle of my videos. So if I do a video like the 2 videos I released today, if you look at them, they'll probably stop you right in the middle for ads. If you're not YouTube Premium, they'll stop you and they'll show an ad or two right in the middle of the bloody video, which I apologize for. It's I sold out to the man. I'm sharecropping, but I will tell you this: I don't I have not set up for people to do super chats where they send me money or they pledge money to me. I'm not setting up some sort of secret society where you buy a membership and I put out content that's specifically for my secret, paid members. I don't do that. I'm not going to do that. I do value the idea of if I get some money for commercials, you know, and it is what it is. My account, from what I understand from uh, Social Blade, I'm probably generating maybe $100 a month. Oh, I'm probably generating about $100 a month. We'll see, because I just got started, for the month, or I just got started for we'll see how that works. Um, I basically did it because I worked on it for so long as a goal, and then about January I was there, but I didn't do it. I was at 1,500 subscribers in January, and I was over 4,000 watch hours in January, and I didn't do it. And I just kept, you know, and I looked into doing it, but I didn't. But I just, I sold out to the man, I sold out. Uh, Uncle Al say I'm a sharecropper. uh, Sorry. I, you got to laugh at yourself. I laugh at myself all the time. You can't take yourself too seriously. You get these people that it's good to be proud of your accomplishments. And I can say in my lifetime, I have some accomplishments I'm proud of. You know, at one time, well, on 2 different occasions, I had um, what they call academically recognized campuses for 1 year at a time, and what it took to get me to be an academic recognized campus. I alienated so many parents it wasn't funny, taking people to court to make their kids go to school and make their kids go to mandatory after school tutorials and to, comply with what was needed. But it got the grades up, it got the test scores up, it got the attendance rates up, and and that. But I had to basically use a stick, alienate a bunch of people. When you have 7 school board members, and you take some of their relatives to court, and the relatives are complaining, it can come down on you. But it's like, You know, that's the way it works. Please hit, yeah, estimated. I'm telling you, I said estimated, Uncle Al. Estimated. They estimate, you know. Um, I will tell you, Uncle Al, I talk to people who are monetized, who have channels a little bigger than mine, and they're getting 150, $175 a month, and they're putting out more content than I am. They're getting more of this and more of that, and they're doing more of this and more of that. So, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, their channels are a little bigger. They're rated a little bit more better. So I mean, they're making a little, you know, they're generating more revenue. They're not generating revenue that you can live on, you know, but they're generating a little revenue. So at some point in the next 10 years, I may get a check for $100 or so from them. I understand they're not going to send you money unless they owe you at least $100, and then they'll contact me and ask me how do I want it or where do I want it put, you know, and then I'll have to give them that information. I'm basically telling you the way things are from my experience for what it's worth. I'm not paid by anybody. When I give advice, it's my advice. I mean, from my perspective, I'm not representing anybody. I'm not paid by anybody. I'm not qualified, other than I'm just running my mouth based on my experience and the fact that I'm, you know, my knowledge base is best when it comes to education. I have two graduate degrees that are educationally related. I have a bachelor's degree that is educationally related, and that's my licensed areas of expertise is in education. Hello, little lone prepper. So I was looking at a video about the storm Helene. Apparently, at when I the video that I saw, which was a news related clip, said that there had been 169 people that had died. I think it was 169 people who had died related to the major Category 4 storm that went through Florida. It hit Georgia as a Category 1. There's like 3.5 million people or so that are out of power. You know, power goes out. A lot of it, the water goes out. You know, everything in your fridge, everything in your freezer winds up getting ruined. Um, the freezer lasts a little longer because it takes a while for it to thaw out. It's important to have bottled water. It's clean drinking water or a means to filter it. It is important to have um, canned foods. It's important to have freeze dried foods, a means to heat water, manual can opener, hygiene products, your medications. All that's important. Um, you think about it. Think about it. Bad things happen. Bad things happen. So, I've been seeing a lot of videos about things that have been going on, and safety is a major concern. You get power lines down. You don't approach a power line that's down. You don't touch it. You don't step on it. You're talking about the type of voltage that will kill you in an instant. You got to be careful. You get lines that are in water. You don't want to get near the water. You get a line in a pool, you don't want to get near that pool. Um, the electricity will kill you. You won't know what hit you. You won't know what hit you. And I've got about 10 cases of humanitarian daily rations. You get 10 24-hour packs in a case. You don't get beverages with it. You don't get a means to heat your mains. But honestly, the FRHs that you get, and I just remembered that Little Lone Pepper wanted some FRHs, and I said I'd send them to her when I just gotta remember to get them boxed up, for her, packaged up. The FRHs aren't worth an SHIT after they're a couple of years old. You talk about components and such that don't last. Your FRHs, you get, you get your MREs or your rations that you get from different companies that produce, rations, the civilian rations, and they put a flameless ration heater in them. And you can always add salt to it, but 90% of the time it's not going to work. So therefore, you want to basically be able to put it in a pot and heat it up. You heat the water, it's in the pot, it'll heat it. Having a camp stove, one of these little portable stoves, put a pot, put water in it. You can put a couple of those mains in it for you and the missus or whoever. Heat them up. That way you got hot food. And you can just rip the top off with a spoon. You eat it out of the pack. If it's super, super hot, you basically have some sort of pot holder or something so you don't burn yourself. Just eat it out of the... Hello, Melinda Elliott. Thank you for coming. Good to see you, and thank you for dropping links. I appreciate you co-piloting this evening. If you're interested in channels that put out good subject type content or good discussion content, Melinda Elliott has an excellent channel. Belinda's Country Living, when she puts out content, they both have a little bit larger channels. I think Melinda's at about 5,000 subscribers, and the last time I checked out Belinda, she was at 4,000 and something. Both of them are pretty good sized channels. They're both monetized. If you want to ask some monetization questions, you can ask one of them. Go on to one of their live streams or go on to, when they're doing videos and such, ask them a question. I was talking a little bit about my experience with monetization now that I am monetized. And yes, propane. If you have a generator, you get a dual fuel generator that runs on gasoline and propane. I would only run it on propane. It will burn cleaner. You won't get quite the octane out of it that you would on gasoline, but the engine, it'll save on your engine. Make sure that you change the oil. You keep track of the hours that you run it. Make sure you change the oil when it says to change the oil. It's like a car. It used to be, I can remember, 3 months or 3,000 miles, whatever came first. Back in the day, oil changes, 3 months or 3,000 miles. And my father taught me that one 50 years ago when I was a kid. Um, life is such that you never know what's coming at you. You never know what's coming at you. We still got a couple of months of hurricane season left. I'm hearing people talk about they're already having like mild freezes. You know, winter is coming. There are places in you're up in altitude a little bit. They're already having freezes. They're already having a little light snow. We are in the process of a pole shift. The poles are moving. That's been going on for 100, 150 years. They talk about climate change. Well, climate change has been going on ever since there's been a climate. They can go back and look at core samples from ice and from different, they take samples, uh, and they can look at tree rings, old old tree rings from, you know, and they can look at growth. They can tell you, well, did they have a lot of water? Did they get lots of rain? Did they get nutrients? Did they get, how was it? And look at the years. They can look at that. They can look at the rocks and formations and such, or they can go to the side of a canyon. They can look at the various layers, and they can tell you when stuff happened. They look at core samples. They can tell you how the weather was. And one thing you have to understand, as far as, I'm a firm believer that a lot of stuff that they talk about, the stuff that happened, legends of stuff that happened, they had some advancements that they no longer have from back in the days. Like, they have a few maps that were found that showed Antarctica. Modern civilization discovered Antarctica, like 200 years ago. Before that, we didn't know about Antarctica, but they've got maps that are 5,000-6,000 years old that show Antarctica, drawn in, that show North and South America. They're finding, when they're testing, they're doing genetic testing and DNA testing on remains that they find, mummies and various things, and they're doing genetic testing on them, and they're finding evidence that they had contact with the Americas, like cocaine, coca, chocolate, which came from the Americas, certain things that apparently there was some trade going on at some point in time, ancient Egypt, with the Americas. So they're finding a lot of things that's making them change up what they believe and what they talk about, history and such. I find that quite interesting. Buying space, hello. And Melbro, welcome Melbro. Mike Crusher. Hey Mike, I did a brief, about a 5-minute review on a Moore modular operational ration enhancement, a pack 1, which I uploaded. You might want to give it a view. Oh, I'm tired. I'm off. This is the weekend. I've been doing stuff today. I've still got to do all the. I've still got to do all the laundry. I got to do several loads of clothes for this coming week. I got to do my wife's clothes. I got to do my clothes. Um, my wife will have start. She went to a wound care appointment at Detar Hospital, where they've got to work on her. She's still open here. They haven't sealed her up. They've got a sponge in there. They've got a tube with a pump. You know, it's very painful when they clean that stuff out. And she's got to do that 3 times a week: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. She has an appointment with the surgeon Monday. She'll have an appointment with her GP coming up in about a week. It'll be a couple more months before she's back to a semblance of normal. So, oh man, I'm just tired. You know, my wife's health situation. She's been being very depressed. She's been crying. She'll start crying, and then I'm standing there rubbing her back. Sitting down next to her, rubbing her back. Trying to soothe her. She's really depressed, and you'd be too. Um, she's always been a very active person, and it's really getting to her because this has been going on for like since the 6th, so it's been like 3 weeks. You know, she had her surgery like 3 weeks ago. We're at the 28th today. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, and they're saying it'll be a couple more months before she's healed up. I went today and I changed my overall internet to the house. I have to individually program in all of the different TVs. I got the one in the den programmed for her. It's a lot easier on your devices, so like your iPad and your phones and such. I got those taken care of. But I've got to individually go in for each of the TVs, and you've got to use that little thing and like punch in like a 30-digit ding 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 and go over, and it's like it takes you forever. And if you hit the wrong damn thing, you got to try to make a correction on it. It's not a good situation at all. So as I said, this is National Preparedness Month. September is. We're coming to the end of it. The Scout motto: be prepared. A lot of storms, hurricanes. The hurricane did billions of dollars worth of damage. 169 people have lost their life at the last count that they had. It was a Category 4. When it got to Georgia, it was Category 1. That's still a bad storm. And knocked out power for about 3.5 million people or so. There's about 3.5 million people without power right now. If I got the count right, I may be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. So when I get to 1,800 subscribers, I'll do an 1,800 subscriber giveaway. In order to qualify for it, for those of you who missed out the last time, because I only had 13 people qualified for the drawing, leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos. So like today, I released 2. I released 1 a few days ago, so I've got 3 new videos that you're going to need to like and comment on. And I may release 1 or 2 more before I hit the 1,800. Now, my channel seems to be growing pretty rapidly. I'm up in the last month. I'm like at 44, 45 new subscribers. I'm right at midway to 1800 right now, and I'm not doing a push. I'm not reaching out. It's just I'm picking them up as they come along, and I'm not reaching out to anybody. It's just they're just happening. But if I get the gumption, something happens. You never know. So you want to get left out? Don't do it. If you want to, and you like my content, and these are not long videos. I mean, my modular one was a little over 5 minutes. The one I did for the Black Widow was like 7 minutes. Um, my 1,700 subscriber video was not that long. It's like 8 minutes or so. So please like, share, subscribe, leave a supportive comment to support the channel. If you haven't clicked the bell icon, do that. Life is good. It is what it is, though. Every day when you get up, say, thank God for the day, say the Lord's Prayer, drink your coffee, take your medication. I will try to be back tomorrow for another probably 30-minute one. I'm only doing 30 minutes tonight. It's already right at 30 minutes right now, 31 minutes. So, hello, Bud Files. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. We didn't have power for a day and a half. Now the power is back on the telephone. The internet are out. Yep. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. My internet is wireless. So as long as I got power, and it depends on the towers. If the towers don't have power, I still might be screwed. But I've got wireless internet. I'm not hooked up to lines or anything. I don't have to worry about a line, whatever. Thank you, everybody. Please have a blessed day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye.